Unfiltered. Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo.
Philadelphia Sports Talk. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
We heard from Dave Dombrowski at 2:45. Then we heard from Don Mattingly at 4 o'clock. And then we got word a few minutes ago that Rob Thomson is going to be meeting with the media any second now. So Silvana will get in my ear and let me know, and we will go to Rob Thomson live.
Just so you know, I was right about the Mattingly thing. I don't know if you saw this, but apparently he did say, we must have missed it somehow, that the reason why he said he didn't want to manage was because of respect to Rob Thomson.
And he said that in the offseason.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was a weird question when he got brought here. Do you still want to be a manager? He says, no, I don't have the energy for it. What is he supposed to say? Yeah, I got my my knife out to stab Thomson in the back when he fails.
Yeah, that would be that. That's what I was kind of thinking this morning. I'm like, well, he probably just said it just to keep everybody, happy within the organization. Imagine if coming in here, I'm here to take a managerial position.
Well, if he struggles, I'll gladly take over. So here's an update for those just joining us. Mattingly, interim manager. But Dave Dombrowski admitted he actually offered the job to Alex Cora, who was fired by the Red Sox on Saturday night. Cora turned it down for spend time with his family. He's also still getting paid from the Red Sox, so kind of an easy decision.
Yep.
They promote Dusty Wathan, who was your third base coach. He's now the bench coach, and they bring up the AAA manager, Anthony Contreras, to be the third base coach. And here we are now with the largest payroll in franchise history, looking to right the ship after a 9-19 start, a negative 54 run differential, worst in all of Major League Baseball. Is this going to be like 2022, where you fired Girardi and then you went on a great run to the World Series? Or is this 2012 where it's, oh, man, this era is officially over and we got a lot of issues now trying to rebuild this team?
Yeah.
Jury's still out on that.
The jury's going to be out on this. I mean, what is actually sitting in front of Don Mattingly right now is the question. You look at this team. I mean, the minus 54 run differential is what kind of bothers me. That's what stands out to me. And I know we're saying, well, they're going up against some teams that are sub 500 teams, so the Phillies should feast on them. If they don't, that just means that they're one of them. Like if they go 500 through these 15 games or whatever, 16 games, and they don't kind of make up ground, they don't kind of, I guess, climb in the right direction, then you would have to say that they're no different than any of these teams, the Marlins, the Giants. You would say they're on the same level. You got to make up some time right now.
Yes. All right, here we go. Rob Thomson meeting with the media live.
For being a super pro through all your years here and really good with us. Appreciate it. What's your message to the fans, Rob, after this decision was made and after your time as Phillies manager comes to an end?
Yeah, I think, first of all, I wanted to do this before I bounced out of town, and I wanted to get my face in front of everybody and answer the questions. Also, I wanted to clear a couple of things up. One, my relationship with Dave Dombrowski is rock solid. I respect the man. I think he's one of the best baseball people I've ever been around. My relationship with John Middleton is rock solid. We all spoke this morning when they notified me of my firing, and it was a great conversation. Having said that, we haven't played well, and for whatever reason. And when you're not playing well and you're the manager of a ball club, you're held accountable, and rightly so. So my message to the fans is this, and now I can say a few things. It's early. We went through a very difficult stretch, playing two of the best teams in baseball that were really hot, and we weren't playing well. And that's my responsibility when we're not playing well. So my message to the fans is this. I still think, and I hope, because I love these guys, that this team's going to turn this thing around. And they're going to get hot. I have a bunch of different reasons why, but one is the fact that there's a lot of talent in there. And if you look at the back of the baseball cards with these guys, usually they reach those numbers by the end of the year. So I think that they are going to turn around.
Okay, let's go to Dan Gelston next.
Quick, I guess, first of all, I guess Dave said that you were offered you could stay along with the organization. Why didn't you? And I guess at this point, do you consider yourself retired? Do you want to coach again, manage again, have any role on the baseball team again?
So I wasn't officially offered. I wasn't officially offered anything, but I am open to staying in this organization. I've said throughout my 4 years as manager here, I don't want to go anywhere else. I love this organization. I've been treated with class and dignity the last 8 years, ever since I came here. And not only the organization, but the city of Philadelphia as well. We've had some really good times. We've had some bad times, but all in all, I think that I've been treated fairly by all of you and the city. And, I would seriously entertain staying with the organization. Maybe right now isn't the right time. Maybe we give it a little bit of a break here, but yeah, I'm all in on that.
Okay, let's go to Hannah Kaiser. Hannah?
Hey, Rob, thanks for doing this. You came into this role in a similar sort of team looking to change their fortunes, and it really paid off when they hired you to do this. I'm curious kind of what that and this and your whole tenure in Philly has taught you about how much a manager matters. How much does a manager matter?
Well, I think you have to have talent, and we have talent. I think, I don't know. I can't put a percentage on what a manager matters, but the one thing that I tried to do throughout my 4 years here is let the players play and let the talent take care of themselves and take care of itself, and try not to get in the way. When you got to fix things, try to fix it, but for the most part, let them play. And it's worked, and I think it's going to continue to work. We have some things to clean up, and I'm sure Donnie, who's a fantastic manager, is going to keep working at it, and I think this club's going to get straightened out.
Go to Jeff Kerr.
Hey, Rob, appreciate you doing this. Some of your players, they sense the frustration with their play, but what were the conversations like with them over these last 12 hours or so, or when you informed them of the change?
Well, I've a few of them, a lot of them have reached out to me already, but it happened this morning. The announcement, I think, was at 11 o'clock, so there hasn't been a whole lot of time for them to get a lot of guys. But for the most part, it's been, there's so much mutual respect between myself and the players. It's just, thanks for everything. They know that they got to keep going. They're not canceling the game tonight or this week. They got to keep playing, and they got to keep working and keep competing. So the conversations have been good. I'm sure that I'll talk to almost every one of them before too long anyway.
Okay, let's go to Scott Lauber. Scott?
Hey, Rob. There haven't been many changes since you took over as manager in 2022. There's been a lot of continuity. I wonder whether you feel like anything has gotten stale in that time. When a manager's fired, there's often like, we need a new voice. I mean, is there any of that going on here now?
I don't sense that, Scott. We have such a good coaching staff. I think they're the best in the business. They come with energy every day, and I don't sense a staleness to the players. I see frustration with the players, but I think that's natural when you have the record that we do, and when we're struggling in a lot of different areas. And I think that we haven't really played synchronized baseball yet, where there's a lot of areas where we're down in the rankings, but I think that will change, and when we do start to sync up. I think there's a really hot run in there someplace.
Okay, let's go to Todd. Todd Zalecki.
Hey, Rob. When you got on the plane on Sunday, I guess, like, what was your feeling about what might happen over the next couple days? I mean, did you get any heads up on Monday or any sense of anything, just in terms of, did you wake up this morning thinking, okay, I'm gonna manage a game tonight, or were you still kind of wondering?
No, not really. I don't. As I said the other day, I really don't pay too much attention to it, because I spent yesterday working on the Giants and doing all my prep work. I went in to work out, and then this morning I woke up normal, and I got a call from Dave about it's between 8 and 8:30. Said he was at the ballpark and would I stop by, and at that point I pretty much knew at that point that we were going to change and get a different voice, and so we just talked it out.
Okay, let's go to Matt Gelb.
What are you going to do tonight?
Well, I might watch some hockey playoffs tonight, but actually I'm going to watch our game. I really am.
Was there any point where you felt like, you had meetings over the weekend in Atlanta with Dave and some of his scouts? Was there any point where you're almost trying to lobby, hey, give us, we need some time, just turn this thing around? Was there any of that happening?
No. And I talked to all the scouts, and they're good guys. I mean, I don't think anybody was in there snooping or anything. I think they were just trying to evaluate the ball club and where can we get better. And I don't think there was any backdoor dirty business towards me. I just, we just talked about a lot of different things while we were there, but I didn't pay much attention to it, nor should you. They're there to evaluate the club.
Let's go to Ty Daubert.
Hi, Rob. Like, kind of going off Matt's question, and you said you might end up watching the game tonight. What do you think being away from baseball for the first time in a while might be like for you, and how much do you anticipate watching, and what do you think you'll be able to do in this time? I know you said in the future maybe you'll reevaluate the advisor position, but how do you think you will spend this time going forward?
I got no idea. I really don't. I've never spent a summer in 42 years at home, so I really don't know. Thank God my wife put a pool in a couple years ago, so maybe I'll go for a swim or something. But we'll see. But it's a new thing, and I just got to figure it out.
Okay, let's go to Cole.
Hey, Rob. Had plenty of roles across your 42 summers that you just mentioned in baseball. What is the component of managing that you're going to miss the most?
I think trying to get all the players and all the coaches together on a daily basis, and working together and doing the right things, and I think thinking about lineups and thinking about how do we win, thinking about how we're going to use our bullpen tonight and save certain guys for tomorrow. All those strategy things. I'm going to miss that, because that's all part of it,
Okay, let's go to Jake Mintz.
Hey, Rob. I'm just curious why you wanted to or agreed to do this. It's not common practice for outgoing managers to do media availability after they've been let go. So I'm just curious why this was important to you.
Well, one, I think I've been treated very fairly by all of you over the 4 years. I really have. And I think if you're an accountable person and you're a leader, you're going to stand up in front of people and answer the questions when it's all over. And I just wanted to make sure I did that in the right way. And it's like the last 4 years, I just hope that people feel like whether I did a good job or a bad job, I represented this organization properly, with class and with dignity. So this is all part of it to me.
Thank you.
Okay, go to Colin Newby.
Hi, Rob. What has your relationship been like over the years with Charlie Manuel and Larry Bowa? And what kind of respect do you have for them in the roles that they've stated in the organization?
I love both of them. Just having them around in spring training every day, and Bo comes in every day at home to help us out with the infielders. Those guys, you learn so much from them, from managing to the storytelling to how to deal with players. I just love having both those guys around all the time. They're Phillies for life, and I respect them so much.
Thanks. It's been a pleasure the last few years.
Hey,
Who's that?
Chris Murray. Go ahead, Chris.
Okay. When you look, Rob, when you look at this team in departing, does this team need to add more pieces? Is there a few missing pieces that could perhaps help this team down the line and whatnot? When you look at the team and whatnot, you said that earlier that this team does have enough to compete, but do they need to add anything as moving forward?
Well, I think time will tell, but I think we've really underperformed so far to this point, and that's why we're sitting here today. But I think that the players, eventually the cream will rise to the top, and the players will get back to, where they normally are, and this team will go on a run. And at that point, once they're playing well, then you reevaluate the club, and if there's things that they need to go get, I'm sure Dave will get it done.
Okay, let's go to Marcus Hayes.
Sorry about that. I wasn't live. Rob, I'm sorry if you've been asked this. I think I've been on for most of the Zoom, but what are you proudest of in your tenure here as a manager? What is your biggest regret? And do you expect to manage again?
No, I don't expect to manage. That's where I'm at today. Who knows what happens 6 months from now? But I think the thing that I'm most proudest of is probably winning the National League title in 22. That was just really kind of a magical year from where we started and to where we ended, and that last run during 22 from the regular season into the postseason, where we spent 21 or 22 days on the road, and the guys got it done. That was really special. The thing that I don't know, there's a number of decisions that I would love to have back. I can't pinpoint one that I would say is the one that hurt the most, because any decision you make, there's a lot of thought behind it, and not only from me but from our coaches too. So, but I'm not really sure, but there's all those decisions, especially during the playoffs, where they're really magnified. They sort of sit in the back of my mind.
Thank you very much, and thanks for being so professional all these years.
Thanks, Marcus.
Let's go back to Todd Zalecki.
Hey, Rob, Dave said today in the press conference that he had called Alex Cora on Sunday morning and gauged his interest in the job and decided that if he said yes, he would make the change. And I'm wondering how you feel about that, knowing that you still had the job at the time.
I don't really think too much of it. I think Dave's just doing his due diligence, and he had made up his mind, and he was going to move forward, and he's going to. This guy's a Hall of Fame executive, and so I think people need to trust him, and he's going to do the right thing for the organization. Dave and I have a close relationship, but that doesn't stand in the way for him doing the right thing for the organization. I respect that.
All right, so there he is, Rob Thomson, former manager of the Philadelphia Phillies. And I'll say this, although I feel it was the right move, moving on from Rob Thomson, That was a sad press conference, man. He's a class act. This was a really classy move to come on and address the media and the fans, and you could tell he's still rooting for these guys. He still wants them to succeed, and it's unfortunate that it ends this way, but a true class act in Rob Thomson.
In my opinion, he's going to be with the organization. I mean, just by the way he answered that question, that he said he'd love to do something within the organization, I think he ends up coming back and being some kind of special assistant to somebody. And I think that's a good thing. Rob showed a lot of class. He showed a lot of class doing this. When you really think about it, you don't have to do something like this. A lot of guys will just jump on their horse and go into the sunset, and that's it. You never hear from them again until they resurface in some other area. But he said he's not going to manage again. And, that's sad. I think that's the part that kind of gets you. I mean, everybody's been in the same boat. It's interesting. He said, I haven't had a summer in a long time. When I ended my career, that's exactly how I felt. Like, literally, I hadn't had a summer for 25 years. And all of a sudden, you're like, wait a minute. I have a summer to do something? What am I going to do? And then quickly after the summer ends, you get very, very bored.
And then you decided, I want to spend my summers with Bill Colarulo.
Well, that took a while to figure that out.
And now you're the happiest man you've ever been in 50-something years.
Yeah, I feel like someday I'm going to feel someday you're going to sit here and tell me, hey, you know what? I got to tell you something. I've been holding back from you. I was on your ex-wife's law team.
I wasn't licensed in Connecticut, so no, you don't have to worry about that.
I'm licensed in your state.
All right, here's what we got coming up, though. We hear you. The best voice memos of the day. I'm very curious what the fan base is going to have to say about the big Phillies news that dropped today. So do not go anywhere. We hear you, and then we'll get into a little Sixers-Celtics, because this could be the last game of the Sixers season tonight. Keep it here, Unfiltered, 97.5 The Fanatic, NBC Sports, Philadelphia. All right, welcome back into Unfiltered. A little bit of a different show today because we've heard from so many people with the Phillies. We had Dave Dombrowski at 2:45, Don Mattingly around 4 o'clock, and now we just heard from former manager Rob Thomson, who showed how classy of a guy he is on the way out, having a lot of kind words for the organization, the team, the fans.
Do you feel like you were like awake?
Yeah, it was sad, dude.
Isn't it weird? Like I'm almost like
it was sad.
relieved.
I almost cried.
No, I've been. You know what? Everybody who's in professional sports kind of goes through something. You have to go through something like this. He's been around for how long? He's never been fired.
Well, because he's always been the bridesmaid, not a bride until now.
Well, yeah, and now he ends up getting fired, and he has the same feeling that every other baseball person, which players, coaches alike, has had. Everybody has that feeling of, okay, I have a summer in front of me. What do I do? And you're kind of lost. I'm not going to lie. You're definitely kind of lost.
Yeah, look, it needed to be done. And this is how the world of sports are, but sometimes you do forget that there's a human element behind it. So, we call for people's jobs, and you call for players to be cut or traded or released or whatever it may be. And Rob Thompson's press conference is kind of the reminder of, well, yeah, there's a human element to it too. He is a human being who just got fired from a job that he absolutely loved, but I think it was the right move. And that was the big question we threw out to everyone today. Was this the right decision? And although Ricky and I don't blame Rob Thomson for all of these problems, you can't fire everybody. So by making this move, let's hope it's the wake-up call that this team needed. But now we're going to hear from you for a little thing we call We Hear Ya, always brought to you by Rycor Heating and Cooling. Delivering high-efficiency heating and cooling solutions across the greater Philadelphia area, New Jersey, and the Delaware Valley. Visit RycorHVAC.com or call 1-855-MY-RYCOR to schedule a free consultation. Rycor, we know how. Hit it, Sylvan.
Now.
I want to know.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to tell you.
Are you listening to me?
We can hear you.
I have something to say. Please, just keep it simple and brief.
Thank you.
Listen to me carefully. And that's all I have to say about that.
We hear you.
All right, first one.
Hi, it's Bud Manning. Yes, I think firing Rob Thomson was a good thing, and I do think the players will be playing better starting tonight. I don't think there's any question in my mind. They're going to do for Don Mattingly what they did for Rob Thomson when he took over. But I don't think that he's the only one that should have been fired. Yes, far as for the pitching coach, leave that up to the Manning, whether it's going to be Rob Thomson, Don Mattingly, Alex Cora, or whoever. And go Phillies, go.
All right, Ricky, I got a question for you because Bud says he thinks they're going to do for Don Mattingly what they did for Rob Thomson. Here's a major difference, though. These players loved Rob Thomson. I don't know how much the players liked Joe Girardi.
You don't know. You're not going to know. I mean, it's a developing thing. This is one of those situations where a relationship has to develop. Don Mattingly has just gotten there. Rob Thomson was there, ends up being the manager. They already loved Topper. Topper was the man in the dugout. Well, Don Mattingly doesn't have the timing down to have that from these players yet. So I think it's actually a good sign that he's actually managing them now in the fact that there hasn't been that lovey-dovey situation yet. You know what I mean? You know, you almost get too comfortable with somebody.
Yeah.
You can't have that with Mattingly yet if you're a player.
He just got here.
Yep.
He just got here, so we'll see how it goes. It starts tonight at Citizens Bank Park against the San Francisco Giants. We're actually going to bring back home run predictions before the end of the show. Maybe we can help turn things around. All right, keep going.
It would be nice if the Phillies front office could take a page from Hallie and maybe keep things a little closer to the vest. You know, like not go out there and say Cora was the first choice and, you know, they were, you know, asking them to come over. Maybe not hammer players publicly and then ask for a trade. I mean, really, what is going on here? These guys are like amateurs.
I do agree with that.
What players have been hammered?
Well, he's talking about Harper.
And he's also saying that he always says, like, oh, you know, we're trying to trade Bohm, but no one wants him.
Listen, as a media member, I love the transparency because it gives us stuff to talk about. But the caller's not wrong. It's a pretty much foregone conclusion that Howie and the Eagles are trading A.J. Brown, but yet they haven't said a word about it.
Right.
If that was Dombrowski, he would
He'd
be
be
like,
well, we're gonna trade him.
yeah, well, he needs a change of
Just
scenery.
a matter of time.
Yeah, it's exactly
Matter of fact,
right.
the time would be June 1st.
Why do they do that, the Phillies?
I don't know. It's. I think Dave is extremely old school, and in old school days, you just tell it like it was. You hear me, I don't really hold much back.
Yeah, but if you were a general manager, I think you'd be different.
It's different.
Yeah, I think you'd be different. I think you would posture.
I would probably. I would lie my ass off to you guys. I'd be like, really? You want to know? All right, here's what's going on, and give you a complete and utter lie.
Yeah, but I guess the Alex Cora thing, if you missed it earlier, what the caller's talking about is it was reported by Rosenthal, Stark, and Gelb. They offered the job to Cora, and he turned it down for family purposes. And then when Dave was asked about it at his press conference, he admitted to that and said, yes, we spoke. We offered him the job. He turned it down. I guess he didn't want to refute the reports from who he finds as respectable reporters.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get it. Okay, these reporters are like the love of your life. I mean, Dave Dombrowski has some reporters that he loves very much. You might have that special someone. Maybe they're in Philly. Maybe they're in New York City, Allentown, anywhere.
Where's this going?
Wherever, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I'm just saying, you're going to. It is a little nuts. It is a little nuts. But when you really kind of think about it, you have these special people that you will tell whatever you want to.
Ricky, have you found
And then
someone
there's
special?
No.
You sound like very enchanted right now.
Ricky does have a special person that he'll tell things to.
It's Phil.
And it's me.
He almost threw his headphones
No,
on. He was like,
my point is that you get into certain situations, and when you trust somebody like that, you will give them all the information in the world.
Yeah, I understand.
So obviously, there's certain guys within the press corps for the Phillies that Dave Dombrowski trusts. He'll give them anything they want.
And they had this story, and he didn't refute it. So, but I don't disagree with other things that the caller's talking about. Is when you want to trade a player, you don't have to tell everybody you're trying to trade a player.
Do. Yes, you do.
You don't have to do
and
that.
By the way, I think you got it wrong with the whole Alec Bohm thing. He kept saying he's not getting what he wants.
But he was admitting he's on the market.
Yes, he admitted that they were shopping him.
Of course he did.
All right, let's keep it rolling.
Because he's old school.
Thank you, Rob Thomson, for your service with the Philadelphia Phillies. I hate to see anybody get fired, but this was kind of inevitable, and the manager is usually the one that gets the axe, maybe the general manager, which should have happened. I don't want to kick a good man while he's down. Rob Thomson, I feel like, is a good man. I do want to kick Dave Dombrowski. I not only want to kick him, I want to punt him out of the city of Philadelphia. You and your good ball club. I don't know how you have so much job security. It's ridiculous. You have made bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. You got to go.
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to condone violence, but I don't disagree with him. Is Rob Thomson, you're right, you don't want to kick him while he's down because he is a class act, but Dombrowski continues to irritate fans because he comes off a little smug lately.
Smug. The first line he said to us, to everybody, and to his loved ones. The first thing he said,
his loved ones, the reporters.
Oh, my gosh.
That's what I'm trying to say. The first thing he said is, we don't blame anybody in here.
Yeah, no blame.
Then why the hell is Rob gone?
Right.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
man.
I think it's very simple. Why is Rob gone then?
And, of course, he dropped a couple. We have a good club.
No, he's full of it when he says that.
There's nails on a chalkboard, honestly, to listen to.
We have a good club. I'm still standing strong on this. I think I was the first one to point out that he said we have a good club, and now everyone talks about it.
You 100% work.
I'm giving myself credit.
You wanted the drop, but I have a feeling maybe Bill's one of those that Dave Dombrowski loves.
Maybe. But now middays.
Certainly not.
He loves you.
Middays stole we have a good club. And they stole the Flyers horn.
Yeah.
Because he's a rat.
What are they going to steal next?
He's a rat. I've been telling you
Well,
this.
they stole Ricky today.
Oh, yeah, they even stole Ricky today.
Yeah, they
They
stole
come
Ricky.
out, hey, we want Ricky's reaction
And
to...
I said no.
To Thomson being fired. It's like, whoa. Tune in at 2 o'clock, all right?
I said no, and I was told by you that I had to go on.
No, we're team players. We're team players. Ray Dunn helped us get Lincoln Riley. We got to give him credit. He helped us get Lincoln Riley.
There was a bribe to you, so I had to go.
Yeah, I sold you out.
Yeah, you sold me.
Oh, you got me Lincoln Riley? All right, you could have Ricky Bo for 8 minutes. All right, what else we got?
Dombrowski is a profile in gutlessness. He is completely disingenuous by saying he's not blaming Topper, who is way behind Dombrowski and the team when it comes to blame. If he really does believe the team is good, then he showed a lack of character by caving and firing Thomson. Think about it this way. They've had a hard start offensively, defensively, and pitching, played very good, hot-hitting teams, and been very unlucky. Yet if you swing just 4 games, it's 13 and 14 and no big deal, which is not a big deal over a 162-game season.
It's a pretty good call right there. That guy had a good radio voice, too, didn't he?
He was right on top of it at the beginning with the blame game.
Better watch out, Ricky.
Yeah. No, that
Why
was
me?
Never replacing Ricky Bo. But no, I mean, it's a good call. Like, Dave Dombrowski, I think, is irritating a lot of people.
I tried to get deep, and people just shut me down.
Yeah, we don't know where you were
I was trying to get deep into a situation where when you like somebody, you'll give them the information that they want. That's all I was getting at. You guys wouldn't let me finish my conversation.
Has he ever given us any information?
Who, D-Day?
No.
Dombrowski?
Ricky.
I hold it for myself.
Ricky Bo still. Maybe we'll find out finally what Nick Castellanos said to Rob Thomson now that this is all gone.
You know what? I got to work on that now.
Yeah, now we can work on it. All right, what do we got? One more?
One more.
All right, let's get it in.
Short.
It was time. Maybe Mattingly can right the ship. Maybe not. But this team has looked so lifeless all year long. But this needed to be done. Thank you, Rob, for the 2022 run to the World Series.
That is true.
We have a good club. That was a good finish to a nice voice memo. But you know, he just said this season we're a month in.
They did it quickly.
We're a month in. They kicked Rob Thomson in the shins and the ass that quickly.
They did, and now you would hope things turn around. You got 5 series. Yeah. You got 5. You got 5 series against teams that you should be able to beat. They really should go on a run right now. We'll find out. It starts tonight. So coming up next, we'll give you our home run predictions for Don Mattingly's first game as interim manager, and we'll take a look at Sixers-Celtics Game 5. What's the odds? And could this be Joel Embiid's last game in a Sixers uniform? A lot more to get to right here on Unfiltered. 97.5 to Fanatic, NBC Sports Philadelphia. All right, coming down the home stretch here on Unfiltered. If you missed the news, I don't know where you've been. Rob Thomson, relieved of his duties as manager.
No,
Don
sir.
Mattingly takes over as interim manager.
Are you serious?
This is the first time you're hearing this?
It might as well be me today. I'm all over the joint.
First time you're hearing this? Who? So they start the Don Mattingly era tonight against the San Francisco Giants. We're going to get back to doing home run predictions. Maybe that's what will get this team going. But we also got to take a look at the Sixers game tonight in Boston. Game 5, it could be over. The season could be over. Is the Joel Embiid era over? Before we talk about that, let's just take a look. The question we threw out to the masses today on the Twitter poll was firing Rob Thomson the right decision? It seems like overwhelmingly a lot of people have the same opinion here where they're not blaming it all on Rob Thomson. They think Dombrowski has a lot to do with it, and so do the players. But they think it was the right decision to try to create a spark. Let's see where these final numbers came in. Twitter poll performed like an all-star today, thanks to Dr. Avi Donapel of Iron Mountain Men's Health. What are the final results?
Do you think it was the right decision to fire manager Rob Thomson? Yes or no? Still 61% saying yes, 39% saying no.
Yeah, and I would venture to believe, based off of the comments and some of the texts and calls we got today, that the 39% that are saying no wanted Dave Dombrowski fired.
I would assume that. I mean, when you hear people, the first thing they said, it's the roster. Look at the roster. These guys aren't performing. And quite frankly, as you like to say, they're not wrong.
Yeah.
They're not. I mean, you go 1, 2, 3, and then tell me beside Marsh, underneath that, what's working?
You had nothing. You all right over there?
I had the hiccups, and I didn't want to hiccup on there.
He was holding in his hiccup. Now, listen, if Dave Dombrowski still has a job next year, if this team does not turn it around, that would be a mistake. But right now, I don't think you make a move at your POBO.
I see what you're saying, and I see why it doesn't really make sense to remove a quote-unquote GM or a POBO in season. It just doesn't make sense because what moves are they going to make? Let's face it. If there's a move that's going to be made at the trade deadline, John Middleton's going to be in on it anyways.
Yeah, and this team already now, Dombrowski's already given out all the contracts to people. So it's going to be tough for them to make any wholesale changes in the middle of a season, but we'll see how it all plays out. All right, let's do our home run predictions before we take a look at the NBA game tonight, Sixers-Celtics. But Silvana, you said someone texted in about our home run predictions? What's going on here?
Yeah, so we actually have this texter that says, instead of bringing back home run predictions, you should lay out a new prediction on which player can hit the ball out of the infield.
That's not a bad idea. Or who's going to even get a hit tonight.
Man, I'm surely not betting on Alec
Which player will hit a line drive tonight?
Bryson Stott.
All right, look, Phillies
they're good at hitting pop-ups.
Won't be Marshawn.
Phillies are pretty big favorites tonight. Minus 164, taking on a bad Giants team tonight. I am in dead last in home run predictions because I haven't predicted a single one correctly yet. So I get to go first.
Oh, there's a humdinger going too tonight.
What?
Tyler Mahle, 5.26, going up against Jesus Luzardo at a 6.91.
Oh, yeah. You know who I'm saying is going yard tonight?
Who's that?
Bryce Harper.
Come on, man.
I'm going Bryce because when everything now, there's all this noise. You fired Thomson. Harper's going to look to the club, and he's going to say, hey, fellas, get on my back. He's going to hit a home run. I wouldn't even be surprised.
You took mine, too.
If it's in the first inning.
You took mine.
Yeah, so I'm going Harper. This is why I'm in dead last. I get to go first. It's like the number 1 draft pick off the board. So I'm going Harper at a plus 370. Silvana, you're up next.
Gosh, should I go for a flyer? Maybe I'll go with Brandon Marsh.
Really?
Interesting choice. Brandon Marsh tonight, a plus 610. That's Silvana's choice. We left the Schwarberian on the board for Ricky.
I know, but I like going for the bigger points. I get blinded.
I'm going to say this much. I'm taking Schwarber because he's already got 2 home runs and 19 at-bats against Mahle.
He's a plus 235.
But let's I don't know. I'm not going to do it. I was going to say Alec Boehm because everything changes today.
Now, Alec Boehm a couple minutes ago.
I did think about it.
Well, he was like a plus 1080 a couple minutes ago. It's dropped to a plus 980. So money's coming in on
people.
Boehm.
That's a lot. I mean, when you think about it, the plus 1080, you're getting 10 to almost 11 to 1. People are taking it.
All right, but you're going with Schwarber. Silvana's going with Marsh. I'm going with Harper. And we're saying, maybe don't be surprised if Boehm goes yard.
Yeah.
All right. Before we get to the Sixers, real quick, let me tell you about the deal of the week this week. You want to get in on it before it sells out. You get two $50 gift cards that can be used at over 200 Pennsylvania Campground Owners Association campgrounds for the price of one. Man, 200 Pennsylvania Campground Owner Association campgrounds. Seems redundant, doesn't it?
Oh, I thought you were reiterating campgrounds just to be funny.
There's 200 of them.
Yeah, but should we just say 200 campgrounds? I don't know. Either way, it's basically a buy one, get one. You get two $50 gift cards. Get this deal now while supplies last at 975thefanatic.com/deals. And what is on deck tonight, courtesy of Sequoia Outback on Route 309 in Hatfield and decksupplies.com? Well, what's on deck is potentially Joel Embiid's last game in a Sixers uniform.
Yeah.
I'm sticking to that because I do believe the 76ers are going to hit the reset button this offseason. Unfortunately, I think it happens tonight.
Aren't they kind of forced into doing that? If they lose tonight, they haven't gotten through the second round since 2001.
What do you think the spread is tonight in Boston?
Earlier in this series, it was like 14.5. I don't think they're going to go that high.
Yeah, I'll go a little bit lower.
11.5.
Wow, pretty close. 10.5 point dogs.
I was going to go 9.5.
10.5 point dogs tonight.
Yep.
Do you think there's any chance that the Sixers could go into Boston and win this game?
I don't. Not this time. They've already beaten them once there. Not going to happen twice.
Yeah, I think the season's over tonight. Although
they fooled us before.
They did. I didn't think they were going to win game. What was it? Game 2.
Yeah, they fooled us before. So
A little bit more healed Embiid.
You just never know in this type of situation. I mean, you hope they win and just keep forcing more games, but I just don't know. I don't know if the agony can handle it anymore.
All right, Joel tonight over under 26.5 points.
He's got to go over. If they're even going to win, he's got to go over. If they're even in the game, he's got to go over.
Maxey 25.5.
Don't forget tomorrow night you get an extra half hour of myself and Silvana.
Oh, you guys are doing Unfiltered Extra together.
Yeah.
Leading us into the Flyers
We're
game.
going to do a little Flyers.
Yeah, we'll be flyered up.
We are going to have an action-packed show tomorrow because we'll be reacting to whatever happened tonight with the Sixers and the Celtics. We'll be reacting to Don Mattingly's first game as manager. I just got confirmation Jason Stark from The Athletic will be joining us. I can't wait to talk to Jason about everything with Rob Thomson. And then we will also get you flyered up for a huge Game 6. A little disappointing that Thomson was fired today because we didn't get to react to everything that happened last night in that Flyers-Penguins game, but we certainly will do a lot of Flyers talk tomorrow leading in because I have some very strong opinions about what went down in Pittsburgh last night that we will get to. All right, so predictions tonight, though. You think the Phillies dominate?
I think the Phillies roll tonight. It would make sense. New manager, watch. It works that way a lot.
All right, so Phillies dominate. I'm right there with you. I think the Sixers get crushed. I wouldn't even take the 10.5.
I think they cover but lose.
All right, I think they get crushed, unfortunately. And I think tomorrow we'll be reacting to what the future holds. But big thank you to everybody who tuned in today. We had a lot of Phillies talk, but we'll get back to some Flyers, Sixers, and maybe even a little Eagles tomorrow. Keep it here on the radio side. You're getting Sixers All Access with D. Lynham leading you into the Sixers Celtics. On the TV side, Birds Huddle leading you into Sixers pregame, I believe. But we'll be back at it tomorrow, everybody. You have a great night. Talk then.